Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy B Farm Thinking Right out here in my lab, and I had to switch up. I got to go back home for a minute. I'm in my old book. I got to do my thing. I got a nice little lesson for y'all today. It's called Show and Tell. I'm gonna show you and tell you about the goddess, main ancient god and goddesses of the Egyptian pantheon of gods, and it's all about the headgear. We're gonna talk about that right quick. I gotta go back home for a minute. I've been in that book of wisdom and other stuff, but this is my stuff. I'm gonna go home for a minute. Come on, all my right things are from back in the day. This is what y'all like. Let's go. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's always a message in story in my there's always a message to the stories in my life. You turn into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to my God be true. Right thinkers, we back into the the main P-Funk philosophy on the main ancient Egyptian god and goddesses. There's 2 pages of God and goddesses. I'm gonna walk you through them, give you a few at a time. Hope you can digest and understand them. Let's start out with the top here. That should be Amen. That's Amen before he contained Amen Ra. That's Amun by himself. You see the gold plume, that double-headed plume, and then you got the ram head god Amun, and this is Ra. They're gonna become combined. And this one right here, you see, is Ptah. The brothers wearing skull cap way back there. Look at the skull cap. Look at the headgear. And then you got Atum. Okay, what's that guy? Yeah. Now he's the demiurge god. He's the one that did the work for God for Ptah. But these are all concepts of what aspect of your character. But we gave him life. And if you do your homework, I'm gonna give you a quick breakdown, show and tell. And if you're interested, there's 29 of them. There's a lot more, but these are the ones we call the main ones. You understand them, you put them into your character, you emulate them, you master them, so to speak, harness their concepts, and you understand how to become what? Master of yourself. That's what it's all about. Okay, the symbolism of their headdresses. I'm gonna let you know who they are and what they did pretty much. But the goal is to master each one and harness their aspects in your character of the God and goddesses. You see me do this every day. That's Sean, my girl Maya. She's on here too. All right, let's go. It's called show and tell time. All this self mastery, these are things that help you get to be a master of oneself, because these are all aspects of yourself. Forms of Amun Ra, the creator, the hidden one. Amun means to be hidden, means hidden. God is hidden, he ain't visible. Okay? And these are all symbolic and esoteric teachings from our ancients. So understand that. What's this? I'm gonna try to break it down quick as I could, the best I could, because I see I got time schedule. But the forms of Amun Ra, the creator. First you got Amun means hidden. After the prayer, y'all give him respect. I watched the other guy talking about how he's the bad guy. Ain't no time for that. Okay, but he represents the hidden one. And when you see him in his regalia, he represents the upper and lower Egypt, all that good stuff, uniting it as one. But the next one you see here is Ra. And you see here, Amun has the head of a ram-headed god. Every animal is there for a reason. Amun, the ram-headed, the lamb, with the lamb of God, all that good stuff, it's all symbolic. But with the Ra, with Amun, he represents man. You see him the first, he's the man. The next you see him with the ram-headed God. That represents his zodiacal sign also. And when you see Ra, Ra got the head of the falcon with the sun disc on it and the Uranus going around. That's how you know who he is. Okay, this is Ra. Sun disc, Uranus, and that's him. You never see him in human form. Always the falcon head. Why? Falcon, a bird brain. That's the highest level of consciousness. That's why. Okay, and he represents what? The creator. He's the sun. Okay. Next one, we got Ptah. The God, the Trinity of God was Amen. I showed you him first. Ra, I just showed you him. Now Ptah. Ptah considered to be, he got the skull cap on. But he's the one that created himself by uttering himself into existence. He said, Tuh, and he came into existence. That's him at the end right there with the skull cap. I tell you, right there. Yeah, next to the last right here. He got his staff, the three things in it, the wise, the jet, and all these concepts is in his hand. That's what he represents, self-created, the creator. He's also considered the creator. And then you got Atum. He considered what to be the demiurge. He's the worker for Ptah, okay? But again, moving down, I just showed you these three guys here. Trying to get through this. But now down here, you got the Trinity of God right here. The scarab head beetle, you got high noon, then you got old age. It was a question in ancient, there's a riddle the Sphinx would ask you before you enter Egypt. What starts off on 4, goes to 2, and ends up on 3? The answer is man. We come out as babies, we call them. But when the sun, the gods, is considered, Capri is the sunrise. He represented by the scarab head man. See the guy with scarab head? That's Capri. He represents the sunrise, the first sunrise in the morning. That's him here. And this is his other concept. If you look at the scarab head, the beetle body looks like our skull, top of the skull. Okay? But the scarab beetle, the dung beetle, they eat dung. They're born out of dung. And they're born to do what? One thing, dung. Okay? Without them, it would be a problem. The ecosystem would not work. Okay? They job. They the sanitation department of the jungle. All right, Serengeti. But then you got the noonday rock. That's him at high noon. Okay? That's he on 2. He's strong, robust. And at the end of the day, when the sun's setting, that's called Atum. He's the setting sun. That's the Trinity of God. Okay? Capri in the morning, Rod high noon, Atum in the end, sunset. Now we're going to get down here to the elements. Okay? Creation starts out with what? The first thing we got is air. Then you got, that's right, my man had that shoe. You see he got the feather right here in his head? That's him. Then this is segment. And all of them got a little title underneath the bottom of it. Here it says, Ra with the God, the one and only God, and his 3 chief aspects of his character. I just gave you the 3 God concept. Now we're getting down here where it says, you got Shu. I showed you Shu. He represents air. Without that, nothing happens. Or ether, okay? That's the invisible. At one time, Shu was considered the God. Why? Because he was the air, he's the wind. Yeah, that concept. Okay, but now his mate, Tefnut, he represents dry air that we can breathe. Tefnut represents moisture, water, so to speak. Not water, but she represents moisture that comes from the heaven, okay? We got water here, 75% of Earth is water, but she represents the moisture, water, the dew, the morning dew that rises, that's thickness, that's her, and the rainfall. Then you got Geb. That concept of Earth was in the male form. Geb. Why? Because their concept of heaven was female. And that's why in Eastern philosophy, the woman is always on top. She represents heaven. She also represents the movement. So all those is understanding esoteric teachers in symbolism that understood. You see right here. That's Shu. That's Tefnut. The first pair. Okay. Air, moisture, water. Gab. He got a goose on his head. Okay. Then you got his wife, his mate. That's Newt. See here. She swallows Ra when he's sunset, and she gives birth to him every day. That's the old story. Then you got my favorite down here, the God, the bird head God. That's Tahuti. That's the mind of God, and Thoth and Hermes with the Greeks and the Romans, or Mercury. But these are all aspects of your character. We gave them life. They don't exist. They're not real. They're just aspects that we can manifest through learning from them. Air, shoe, tough Newt water. Geb represents earth. Newt represents heaven. And you break them down and understand them, and you get a better understanding about nature and how it operates. Tahuti, he represents what? Intellect. He's a bird-headed, ibis-headed man, okay, with always writing something down. He represents your memory bank, your mind, and he also got a different sign when he's a baboon, because baboons, when they sitting looking, they look like they thinking. So that was his two signs. So the baboon right here, and that's in his full regalia. He keeps track of everything. And I watched it. He's ambidextrous. One minute you see him writing with the right hand, sometimes you see him writing with the left hand. I picked that up in a few things, so moving on. I like to do stuff like that. And he represents God's intellect. He's your mind. And he represents your memory bank. He represents everything that you think or your thought process. That's him, okay? That's the mind of God, which is your brain, okay? And then you got, down here we get to my board. Now, those are really pretty much elements. Elements, which is air, water, earth, and fire, was Ra, was a fire. And they don't use Newt as heaven. They use the four elements, earth, water, fire, the elements. But she represents heaven, again. So when you got those things, 5 elements, the 6th is what? Asar. Y'all know him as Osiris from the Greeks. But he represents the soul in physical form. He's the first concept of what? Spirit turned into matter. Okay, he represents the spirit. He's the soul. He represents the soul. Okay, what? And the soul, what? Can't die. So he lives forever. Watch this, in the physical form. And when he do die physically, he goes on to live on what? Eternity in what we call the afterlife. Let's go philosophically. And his mate, which is Aset. Now watch his gear. When you see him, he don't do nothing. He lived the life of Raleigh. He got it made. Okay. He doing his thing. That's him in the physical form. This him after death in the afterlife. And you see here what changes? What? The headgear. The headgear. The headgear. Where's Ra? Again, the headgear. They only one to wear this headgear of the falcon is the royal concept of the royal family. Okay? That's Asar, Ra, and Haru. That's the spirit that dwells in me and you. That's how we become brothers and sisters. And Asar is our father, symbolically. Aset's our mother. She represents wisdom. She the one with the, okay, you see Asar. He got the double plume headgear right here. He represents Upper and Lower Egypt. He got all that covered. He got his crook in the field. He represents authority, but he's the soul. He's going to live forever. That's him in eternity. But this is his wife and mate. She represents your wisdom, your intuitive knowledge. See the throne? A king can't sit on the throne without a queen. She represents the throne. Behind every good man is a good woman. That's who Aset represents in that concept. That's where they got her from. She's wisdom, okay? Personified. The next one is us. The offspring between wisdom and soul is Haru. The kingship, the spiritual victor in life. This is who you want to be. He's the original Christ. He's the one that wins in life against who? His evil uncle, which is represented by Set, which is your ego self, your lower nature. He represents the higher nature. And this is all symbolical that once you understand it, put it together, it's creating what? You to become what? Master of yourself through understanding every aspect of your character, of yourself. Hope, since I've been reading that book of wisdom, I hope y'all can understand it now because it's doing the same thing. I've been doing this for years. Okay, so I'm having fun. But this is my side now. We back to where this is my domain. I'm back in Egypt. But you got Asar, which is the king of the dead. I showed you him. This is him before death. This is him after death. Okay, they call him Sokar. Okay, that's the falcon-headed god in the afterlife, which represents Asar. Okay, now continuation. We moving right there. I'm trying to run through it because it's just something I want to get out the way. But I've been thinking about this for a good while. These are my girls, okay? These are all the goddesses, okay? This is men, okay? This is best. I'm going to break these down for you. I got a few more to go and wrap it up. But let's start with this page up top with the girls. Let's see who we got here. And they all got a story. If you want to look up Sekhmet, okay, she got the power of the sun. She's the one, when God wanted to punish, or Ra wanted to punish, he sent her down and she did work. Read up on her. Do some due diligence. Google these goddesses. They got stories, they got concepts that you can learn about. And that's what I mean, harness, get the knowledge, understand it, and then you implement it in yourself. Hathor, or y'all call it, okay, my girl. She got the power of God. She represents beauty, fertility, and all the stuff that's good and pure. Now you see, okay, let's go with the headdress too. Sekhmet, she got the sun disk. Okay, that's Ra's. She left out Ra. She represents Ra, the serpent. That's her. She's the baddest girl going. Then you got Hathor. Okay, she represents beauty, but she got the cow head here, the nurturer. And then you got the regular beautiful head. But see what she got here? Sun disk, the cow horns. But then she got the Uranus also. And this here, my girl, Mut, okay? She is the actual mother of Amun and Mut in a different theology. So she's Mut. She represents the ultimate mother. See the vulture headdress here that she wear? They don't have that. She represents the ultimate mother. Why? The vulture, if it can't find food for its young, it would chew off its own leg or foot to feed it to their kid. She could eat dead stuff and bring it back to life to feed to her children. They call it carrion. She's the reproducer, ultimate mother, Moot. It says here, great mother. Okay. And the next one of my favorites, nobody really know much about her. Net. Okay. She said, I gave birth to Ra. She talks stuff. And she represents decisive action and protection. Her thing is she got the bow and arrow and the spears. Okay, you see that? She's attacking. She's the original bullseye. When she pull that bow back and let the arrow go, she's going to hit the bullseye. She's the original concept of Cupid with the bullseye. That's what Net represents. She got a nice little history of her own. Check her out. Then you got, I just showed you my girl, Moot. Yeah, she got the vulture headdress. Now we getting down here to men. This is what freaked the white man out when he came into Egypt. When he seen men, that's the big guy with the big penis out. He represents, okay, Amen. See the headdress there? That's him. But he represents control of his lower nature. They said, a stiff thing, don't got no conscience. He proved that wrong. No, I got control of this stiff thing. Ha, ha, ha. It's called semen retention, fellas. They don't even teach that in sexual education class. But he represents men, the generation, the generator. He's sexual sublimation. He know when to what? Have sex, when to engage, and when not to. He don't just go around having it and all willy-nilly. He have control over it. That's what he represents as the God, okay? Men. And when the white man saw that big penis, they were freaked out. And remember, ISIS had to make the fake penis for Assad, so they saw a whole bunch of penises. They couldn't stand that nonsense for them. Then we got Best. He's the dwarf god. He represents childbirth, merriment, and war. You know, all the kings, they always got that little guy, the little dwarf. They got that from him, Best. He's the god right here. That's him. Happy-go-lucky, always dancing. He got the mimic of the god. He got the hairdress, the plume. Now this is Happy, the god with the breast, fat gut and sagging breast. He represents time. See the little headdress here? And they all recognized by headdress. They wear different headdress for a reason. And this is him now, Happy Valley. That's him in different form here. Then you got Sa, S-A-A. He represents intellect. See the bar right there? That represents intellect. And everybody had a calling card on their head. From the neck up, that told you who they was. Oh, it's going to get good. Sa represents intelligence, yeah. Now, we're getting down here to the nitty-gritty. Coming down to the home stretch. All right, yeah, perfect timing. Here we got, what the hell is this? This is one of the old ancient gods, Iraq. She represents serpent power. The Kundalini, okay, that's what she represents. You got Sobek, the crocodile god, okay. They had a whole cap or a whole base under him as the god. Sobek, all right. He the one carried Asar on his back. Now this the guy right here. This is your ego. Y'all call him the devil, Set, whatever, but he represents the ego. Yep, chaos. That's his thing. He gonna bring problems. That's it. He's a problem dude. Then you got Nefet, right here. See her hairdress? Aset wears the hairdress with the crown up. She wear the inverted crown. Let you know they opposite. She represents nature, and Aset represents immortality. But they go together. You can't have one without the other. That's the yin and the yang of nature and immortality. That's the concept. And Sorbet, you got chaos, and she represents mortality. Her and Asar, because Asar fell in love with mortality, thinking it was Aset and it was that. So they had a baby, their offspring. So the spirit, the soul, and mortality come together. Their offspring is Anubis, discernment. I don't see him on here. Okay, I don't see my dude. What? There's no Anubis. Oh no, yeah, okay, my bad. No, he was up here. My bad. Apu. Okay, there you go. That's him right here. He the dog here, the jackal here, the god. Okay, the embalmer. But his Ampu, his name was Ampu. We call him, the Greeks call him Anubis. I just get used to calling him Anubis. But he the guy that leads you at the judgment day. He the one who watch the scales, make sure you get a fair shake. He make sure you don't get robbed. Okay, he's the police of the eternity. His job is what? Discernment. Spirit, mortality, together equals discernment. That's his job. I go and say, where's my man at? All right. Then I got your Soap. Now, Soap, the crocodile guy, he's pure power. Okay? And it was said that when Set cut up Hassan's body and threw it in the Nile, Sawback, not knowing I care, ate a few body parts, okay, and got his tongue torn out. Alligators ain't supposed to have tongues because of that reason. That's the whole story told about the crocodiles with no tongues because he ate, and that was his punishment. He had to pay for that. No deed. And okay, back at Genie, when the Genie said back in my day, everybody had to pay for the transgression, the punishment. Nobody gets away. What? That's karma. Been around forever. Okay, you got to pay for your transgressions. And sometimes you don't want to get caught cheating. Why? It's self-defeating. You might not want to pay them dues. And when you deal with who we got down here, okay, Sabet, he had to pay for his transgression. Took his tongue out. And right here, Serket, she's the power of nature. That's the scorpion queen. And her deal was she can sting you and kill you, or she can heal you with a sting. So she had the power to death and life in her hands. Here you go, my girl. That's Mayat in her different forms. When you see Mayat with the two double Mayat, that's Aset and that representing in the house again. And this is Mayat, the offering, the highest offering you can offer is Mayat, and this is my girl right there. Okay, you see her, she represents order, reciprocity, justice, and everything divine. When God came out of the noon, he had nothing but chaos. That was its fact. And he substitute chaos for what? Order. That's why he put Mayat in the challenge. That's why you see me doing this. That's my respect to my girl, Mayat. That's the lesson about the hairdress show and tell. I want to just get back home and do my guys, feel a little more comfortable now. All right, I ain't never gonna leave my girls and my guys in Egypt. But that book of wisdom and knowledge, I'm having fun with that because it's a different concept. But it's all saying the same thing. I just want to show you that my way again. I'll be right back. In closing, my thing is, may you all live to be 100, me 100 minutes a day. So I'm never my right thinkers who understand my show and tell and the symbolism of the headdress for my ancient Egyptian god and goddesses have passed away. I'll be right back.